Now I will discuss about the controller. What is controller? You know that in the MVC model, MVC means model view and controller. You already have seen how I work with the view. Now I will start discussing about the controller. So in order to work with controller, you have first create a controller in your application. So how we can create controller? You can manually create controller, or you can easily create controller using the PHP artisan command. If you go, you will see that there is a app folder in your application and there is a HTTP folder, and all the controller files actually are in this location, that is into the app folder, HTTP folder, into the controllers folder. You will see all the controllers will be here. But you see that into the controllers folder there is a common controller here, that is a controller.php. As this is a default file, I will not change anything in this file. So all the controller I will create here, that will be into the controllers folder, but I will not touch the controller.php file. This will be remain intact as it is, so do not touch it. Okay, I can create here a controller. I can give any name here, but remember that it is recommended to make the controller name starting with the uppercase letter. So let's check to make a controller. I am going to the terminal. I will create the controller. I will using the code, not manually. Okay, so into the terminal I am going here. This is my new terminal, and here I will create controller using an artisan command. So just call PHP artisan, and here I will create a controller. So I will have to write make controller. Remember that in order to create controller you will have to write make, then controller, make controller. Then you will have to give a name. Do not give any .php file here, just write the name. For example, I am going to give here home controller. This is actually the standard to write controller after the main controller name. For example, when I will work with the about section, I will create about controller. As I am going to work with the home section, I am going to create home controller. You can also give only home, that is no problem, but a standard system is you will have to make controller like this, home controller. Okay, now I am going to give enter. When I give enter, let's check in the left side. You will see that the home controller.php file comes here, and here it is showing that the controller is created successfully. Controller and the location, it is telling you app http controllers and then home controller.php created successfully. So this file comes. If I go into this file, you will see that there is a namespace called into the top, and there is a use illuminate http request. These two files are mandatory. You do not need to remove this. Sometimes I will have to call other things here. For example, when I will go to send email, I will have to some headers here, but that is not the subject for now, so just leave it how it is. Now you see that the class name comes from here, that is the controller class name. The class home controller extends controller. This controller, you saw it, this is the default controller.php. I told you not to touch. This thing actually is going to be extend here into the home controller. It extends the main controller. Okay, now I will have to write methods here to work with my application. For example, public function, I am going to give an index method to write, and here I can return the view. So I will show you everything, how to work with the methods and how to call that from the route. I will show you everything. So I hope you have understood how to create controller in this lecture.